Now, before I get into what I'm about to get into, I just want to make sure that each and every one of you guys put some motherfucking Coach K full court pressure on that notification bell so you could be notified each and every time I upload a video or go live on my channel. And once again, this is your boy E Thriller. Welcome back. Now, I'm gonna give y'all guys some time to get up in this chat, man, before we get into what we're about to get into tonight. But before I get into all of that, I just want to give a quick shout out to all of the mothers around the globe. We love you. We respect you. We adore you. We appreciate each and everything you do for our families. We really, really appreciate it. So I hope each and every one of your mothers out there, whoever is listening, had a phenomenal weekend, a phenomenal day, a great breakfast, a great lunch, a great dinner. Shout out to my wife. I love you. And yeah, I'm gonna just give you guys some time. So before we get it cracking. And today I got a special guest who is calling in to put me up on some game when it comes to Canelo Alvarez. Because last night I found myself just licking my chops thinking, who in the fuck can really beat this guy, man? Because the fight went as planned, as I predicted in my prediction video. And if you haven't done so, go check that out. I believe it's my last video before this live that I uploaded yesterday before the fight. But basically, what I said in that video was Canelo was going to walk him down, land that left hook to the body, and that right uppercut to the top. And sure enough, that's exactly what the hell took place, man, because it was a very competitive fight. I had it honestly where my scorecards at because I just got done watching the fight for the second time, to be honest with you guys. I had it 75-76 in favor of Canelo. That last round was a 10-8 round, in my honest opinion, because Canelo, once he hit him with that right uppercut, he knew the writings was on the wall. The fight was over. And yeah, so I'm just gonna bring my big brother on the line so he can chop it up with me. Yo, you're live on the chat with E Thriller. Talk to me, big bro. Yo, you live on the chat. Talk to me. Yeah, I can hear you now. What's popping? What's going down?
Not much, man. How it going?
It's going pretty well, man. Talk to me. What was your analysis of the fight last night? Break it down for me. Tell me what I didn't see.
Yeah, I was surprised at Chris Mannix, the scorecards. He said the first round, I don't know how he gave it to Saunders because he landed a few little, jabs, if that. I mean, he didn't land anything of significant nature. Canelo landed two hard body shots along the ropes and a right hand or two in the middle of the ring. He clearly did enough because it's not the amateurs. The amateurs about who lands the most punches. Billy Joe was more active, but he wasn't landing more. But in the pro game, it's about landing harder shots, trying to stop your man. So Canelo did a better job of that in the first round. So I had it. I had it definitely 30-27 after 3. And couldn't even say, I watched the fourth round close. I just watched it for the second time this evening. So I had it 40-36 after 4. And then I had Billy Joe sweeping the last 3. I had 4-3 at the time of the stoppage for Canelo.
4-3 for Canelo. That sounds about right. That's pretty close to what I had. That's pretty close to what I had because that last round, man, he just put a whooping on him. I had that round 10-8 for Canelo because Billy Joe, like you said earlier, he really didn't land anything of significance in the 8th round either. So, because once his eye got fucked up, it was a wrap from that point on, man.
Yeah, he got on his bicycle a little bit. He was hurt. And what's crazy is that shot was pretty much the same shot he landed on Lara to turn the tide of that fight. When he cut Lara with an uppercut, that Lara ducked down into also. I believe it was the 7th round of that fight, if I'm not mistaken. But and I give a lot of guys don't give Canelo credit, man. Check it out, man.
Why Canelo, is that? Break that down. Why is that?
I don't know, man. He turned pro over in Mexico at age 15. On the job training, learned on the job, came over here. The first American debut was the night of Mayweather Mosley. He fought Jose Cotto, Miguel Cotto's older brother, at welterweight. He came in weighing 149 that night. He got rocked and rocked hard, but he weathered the storm and won the fight. But he just learned on the job, and now he at 23 he came in the office and asked for the Mayweather fight. He wanted it. Golden Boy didn't want to. He demanded the fight. He wanted to test himself against the best. And then another fight, the Lara fight, which I thought he lost. I had Lara 7-5 or 8-4.
Likewise.
Canelo made them give him that fight. Come on now. Who's doing that? And then for anybody not named Manny Pacquiao, active fighters, Canelo got the best resume, and it ain't even close.
You make a hell of a point. You make a hell of a point.
And all the Andre and Charlo talk, they not for what he's trying to do, man. He's trying to be undisputed. He want to make history, be the first Mexican fighter to be undisputed champion in any weight class. You know what I'm saying? So that's Caleb Plant next. And then, like I said, they talking about moving up. Eddie Reynoso said ought to be the BA, which I think might be too much. But if he can do that, man, Canelo is a gangster.
Okay, right. So we was gonna get to that. So speaking of Caleb Plant, because we all are assuming, according to Canelo and Eddie Hearn, that fight is going to be up next for Canelo, right? But we don't know what Al Heyman and the PBC is going to do with Caleb Plant as far as his next upcoming fight or what have you. But let me ask you this. Do you believe Caleb Plant can really pose a threat to Canelo? Because in my opinion, I don't know if he packs enough of a punch similar to Billy Joe Saunders. I don't know if he has enough pop to stave Canelo and keep him off from coming in on the inside and landing those ripping shots to the body and that fucking flick jab with that right hand over the top or to the body all night long. What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, I mean, that is the question of whether or not he's going to have enough power. And I do think he got a little more power than Billy Joe. Caleb Plant will sit down every now and then on the shots and try to make it feel something. But, man, Canelo he done took flush shots from Triple G. You know what I'm saying? We know Caleb Plant ain't got the power Triple G got, so I just don't think Caleb Plant can do it. It's gonna be some moments because Plant got beautiful footwork. He's a beautiful boxer, The Ukatazi fight, man, he took him to school, dropped him once or twice. You know what I'm saying? So Plant can fight, no doubt about it. I like sweet hands. You know what I'm saying?
I like him too. I like his style.
But Canelo is the boss. You know what I'm saying? He's the king of boxing right now, man. And you see, the man, what's his third fight in 180 days? You know what I'm
saying? I said that on my last video, man. He's definitely the most active boxer in the sport by far. This man is the only man fighting 3 times a year, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, and anybody that know me know my favorite fighter, James Toney, Mr. Anybody, Anytime in the World. When he was champion, he was defending that whole 6 times a year. Before the Jones fight, he had to take time off. That's why, you know what I'm saying, he fought Tim Little and got that bad cut. That first time he had to take time off. And I guess it cost him or whatever. But yeah, Canelo, man, he getting in there, man. He's staying active, man. And he all his fights, every fight is built on his legacy. Yeah, every night you got the little mandatory, the Ivory Yildirim or whatever, or moving up to Rocky Field and just to make history real quick. But he's back in the weight class and fighting, like I said, Callum Smith. He ain't no tomato can. People think he is. Canelo made him look ordinary. He's just that good. Callum Smith was a monster. You know what I'm saying?
Isn't that the thing in boxing though? Whenever you have somebody that's so great, like similar to a Floyd Mayweather or Roy Jones or Canelo Alvarez or Terrence Bud Crawford, isn't it easy for fans to say who don't really like those individuals to say, oh, he fought a bum or he wasn't that good? I kind of feel like that's like the most popular thing to do when it comes to whenever you see greatness in the ring.
Yeah, they want to discredit the fighter to fit their narrative. You know what I'm saying? To make their guy look better, or just so they simply don't like the fighter. But like I said, I give Canelo credit, and I don't know. When Canelo was coming up, I used to not like Canelo, man. I didn't like him. I thought he was babied and coddled. You know what I'm saying? His first title was a vacant title. He fought Matthew Hatton, Ricky Hatton's brother. Hatton, he was coming up from 47 to 54. Canelo just beat the hell out of him. You know what I'm saying? So they gave him a belt. Then 40 whatever year old Shane Mosley, and I'm like, man, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But he when he got in up with the champ and the way he behaved, because think about it. Think about how he handled that loss the way Deontay Wilder handled his to Tyson Fury. What kind of Canelo we would have today? He didn't make it. He went to the drawing board. He probably watched that fight 10,000 times, man. And he had to improve. He
had to, because I see him doing things defensively a lot similar to what Floyd Mayweather does. When he tends to walk his opponents down, he give him that bop to bop, the left to right head moving, kind of show him a little shoulder roll for a tidbit. Wait. I think he's doing that to, kind of pause you to throw you off your game before he throws his shots. In my honest opinion, I could be wrong, but I think that's what's coming from Canelo whenever I watch him fight.
Yeah, well, he has a good jab. It's a good stiff jab. He feints his way in. That Billy Joe started taking the feints last night in the fight. That's what started costing him. Canelo, even though Billy Joe, might have been a little light on his feet and faster, Canelo beat him with timing. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And Canelo does have underrated footwork. He is a lot better now cutting off the ring than he was against the champ and against Lara. So it's a whole nother Canelo now, man. These guys can't keep up, man. He just on a whole nother level, man. He making it look easy. And last night he kind of like how when Mayweather fought Madonna, you know what I'm saying, the first one when he had Madonna probably won 3 rounds with it's a close fight. He he faced a little adversity because nobody used to seeing that. Canelo's that good now. He faced a little bit of adversity last night. He's in danger of losing the fight. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, he walking his cat down landing murderous body shots all night. And then he
I knew it was going to play out that way. I wasn't surprised. Like, I'm not overly impressed by last night because I've seen Canelo do this 1,000 times here as of late. Outside of Triple G, I've seen Canelo just walk dudes down and just punish him. So I knew coming into this fight, in order to be Canelo, man, you got to have some kind of dog in you. Like, you got to have some kind of testicular fortitude to go in there, not afraid to get hit or counter, because we know Canelo is one of, if not the best counter punchers in the sport. And you're going to have to try to back him up. I mean, that's the only way you can probably defeat this guy at this point, because he's in the zone right now.
Yeah, that's pretty much the fight. Pretty much the fighter you describe, and they can do that is Sugar Ray Leonard. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I was going to get to that point a little bit later. I was going to get to, because I have a guy, big bro. I got a guy that I'm gonna drop his name later on in this show. You understand what I'm saying? But let's talk about Demetrius Andrade, because you mentioned him and you mentioned the Charlo brother right now. It's well documented that Canelo had a chance to fight both of those guys when he was at 154 and 160. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? But he decided to take the franchise belt, and then that's when he vowed to move up to 168, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of people feel like he avoided Andrade, he avoided Charlo. Of course, I don't know why those two guys won't fight each other before trying to get a fight with Canelo, in my personal opinion. But having said all of that, do you feel like there's any legitimacy to that argument? And if so, then explain.
At 54, I did with Andrade, because he would he followed the same blueprint Larry was doing. He would come bust up the press conferences too, out, getting the crowd asking him to fight him and all that, putting pressure on him. So I did at 54, but now it's at, when he gets to 60, so he come into 60, he was fighting at the catch weight 55. Basically, I mean, people tripping, but it's still middleweight, because once you're above 54, like in amateurs, the difference between like if you fighting at 152, you can't make that weight. So you come in at 153, then you got to fight at 165. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. So he was a middleweight, so he came in, took the lineal championship from Cotto. Yeah, Cotto was a little older, but he still did it. You know what I'm saying? And then he took the Khan fight just a show to get some money or whatever, a spectacle. And then he called out Triple G. You know what I'm saying? They asked him about the fight. He say, "I got big balls. We can put the glove back on."
I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah, so that. He wasn't ducking no fade, especially not Triple G, man. And the first fight, man, I mean, it could have. I had it 7-5 either way or a draw. You know what I'm saying? What people don't realize, man, De La Hoya always buys one judge. He bought the judge when he fought Mayweather. The judge that had it for him. When Canelo fought Mayweather, he bought C.J. Ross, who scored that fight a draw. When Canelo fought Trout, one judge, because it was WBC belt on the line, so they were doing the open scoring. Basically, after every 3 rounds, they would announce the score out loud. After 9 rounds, one judge had it 90-81 for Canelo. I'm like, it's no way. You know what I'm saying? He had a judge he bought against Lara. One judge had like 9-3 or 10-2 for Canelo against Lara. It's
ridiculous. And let's not forget about the Floyd Mayweather fight where war judge had him beating Floyd, and he didn't touch Floyd.
And then the first Triple G fight, you know what I'm saying? De La Hoya bought Adelaide Bird. She had it 10-2. Canelo was 118, 110. You know what I'm saying? So that's what put it. So that put a black eye on the scorecards. But the fight itself was, I'm glad it ended up a draw, because it was a very evenly matched fight. But in the second fight, Abel Sanchez, he fight Mexican style. So he came out and fought Mexican style. And I thought he was going to stop Triple G around the 5th round. Triple G was out there huffing and puffing. You know what I'm saying? So
my thing with that fight initially, when it happened, when I watched it live, I felt like Canelo won. But as time went by and I went back and watched that fight, I don't know how many times, because I feel like those two fights are some of the two best fights I've ever seen in the sport of boxing, in my generation at least. I had Canelo losing the first fight because I feel like he gassed out. I feel like Triple G had effective aggression. I feel like he controlled the fight with his jab, and I feel like he was very calculated whenever he threw power shots at Canelo. And Canelo, in my opinion, now this is my opinion, a lot of people disagree with me about this shit, but I feel like when Canelo gets gassed, he tends to lay on the ropes and try to pull his opponent in for a counter, with that left hook or that right uppercut, and he's kind of take rounds out to recoup. Not to say he doesn't get his win back later on in the fight, but I'm just saying there are spurts or moments within a fight in and of itself, where Canelo seems to gas out. To that, you say what?
Yeah, I agree with it, and that happened in the first fight. But with that said, now when he was landing ropes, he was doing some beautiful slipping, you know what I'm saying, rolling and countering, you know what I'm saying, and then he would even do the little thing he learned from the Mayweather fight, where he step out to the left, back to the right, make him reset his footwork, you know what I'm saying. And so he was doing a little bit, and then he made Triple G look foolish at times. He get out there, and Triple G right hand was over the ropes half the fight.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
He did. So he definitely made Triple G look like his age. Very
you know what I'm saying? Because Canelo is, he is a defensive wizard, man. I give him credit. He hard to hit. Max Kellerman say he basically reminded him of like a Mexican James Toney. You know what I'm saying? The way he moved. You know, slipping the count, because he is a heavy footed fighter. Just like Tony, he ain't gonna, he'll reset, dance around a little bit, but he coming to get you. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to stop you, man. And that's what he's doing to guys. Like the Kovalov fight, man. He didn't give a damn. He knew he was going to stop this dude sooner or later.
He walked him down the entire fight, bro. Yeah. He walked him down. Down.
Yeah, and he countered so hard with them uppercuts to the body and them hooks up top, man, that the guy be scared to throw their hard shot. That's why Kovalov wasn't throwing. He was reluctant to throw his right hand, man. He just trying to keep that stick out there, keep him off of him. He throw a little soft right hand, but he wouldn't commit to it. Kovalov was a killer, man. Before pre-Andre Ward.
Yeah. He was the boogeyman. He was the boogeyman.
One cat died. He even killed a man. You know what I'm saying? Kovalov he was the boogeyman for real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And So,
but isn't that not to cut you off, bro? But isn't that a testament to Floyd Mayweather's greatness? Because for everybody to say that this man doesn't have power, he doesn't pack a punch, how on God's green earth was he able to keep Canelo off of him for 12 rounds?
Yeah, they don't give the champ credit, man. He what he does, man. He doesn't. At times he'll sit down on something and commit to it, but he don't like to because he want to pull back so he can always be in perfect defensive position. He's just such a perfectionist. Everybody seen him spar in the gym. He walks forward and fights. He don't get but he on fight night he makes it easy. So he moves, uses footwork, set defensive traps or whatever, give you different looks, and it ain't just no shoulder roll. He gives 10, 20 different looks. So guys gonna be ready for that. And he has no rhythm when he's fighting. He's never on rhythm, so you can't time him. You don't know when he's gonna throw a shot.
Right. But speaking of Demetrius Andrade, I'm gonna run this clip of what happened last night, and then we're gonna double back and talk about it, okay? Because I want your honest opinion.
All
right, hold on. Let me add this to the stream, and let me get to the chat real quick. Shout out to Will Quast. I guess I'm saying your last name right, bro. My apologies if I'm not. He said, "Who is a good fight for Canelo?" You can answer that for me, bro.
Yeah, well, other than Plant in '68, I say Benavidez is. Benavidez tall guy, sturdy guy, serious hand speed, power, good power jab. Because that if you got a good jab, that can give Canelo problems. You know what I'm saying? And he clear. Yeah. I don't know what the numbers are, but I'm guessing he has a longer reach. And, so that would be a good one. But then Canelo might, because I don't know the Benavidez punch harder than Triple G. Because if not, Canelo gonna get to his body.
Yeah, I don't know if he can punch harder than Triple G, but where I think he can have a lot of success at Big Bro is his punch output. Now, it remains to be seen if Benavidez can take a shot from Canelo. Now, we know Triple G could, but obviously Billy Joe Saunders couldn't. It remains to be seen if Caleb Plant can. So that's going to be a telling sign of the fight. Can these dudes take a punch from Canelo? I don't know. Yeah. Dude hit like a Mack truck, bro. But let me get to this. Hold on. Let me add this real quick. All right, so last night at the press conference, I guess Demetrius Andrade called himself trying to pull up on Canelo and interrupt his winning ceremony. So here we go. Let's run this shit.
Canelo. So when can we get something going on? Oh man. Thank you, man. Thank you. Big fan. Thank you. What's up, though? I know that. We make it happen. What do you think? Man, you fight with nobody. Hey, you are a champion, but I do. Hey, you fight with nobody, man. You won the belt with nobody. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. Please get the fuck out of here, man. It's my night. What I'm fighting for. Get the fuck out of here. Hey, you got guys, please. What? Hey, what? Hey, you're a horrible fighter, man. You never gonna get the fight, man. You're a horrible fighter. Horrible fighter. Okay, next question. Just payday. You want payday? I know that. Watch your mouth. I see you was on. Yeah. I see your side. Yeah, man. That's the key. Next question. Mexico.
Well, y'all just saw the clip of Canelo Alvarez, man, and I must say, big bro, I like the way Canelo is popping his shit, man. I like the confident Canelo. I'm loving the fact that he knows how to speak English, and I want to know who taught him because they taught him pretty goddamn well. I mean, this man is dropping F-bombs and saying you motherfuckers ain't trying to get paydays, and yeah. I love it personally. What about you?
Yeah, he's able to connect with the crowd more. I mean, did you see that stadium last night after you heard Billy Joe? He started waving, he started waving them on, man. It started roaring in there, man.
Man, that crowd was electrifying, man. I mean, thank God fans are able to come back to these fucking fights, man, because the sport of boxing, I can watch a lot of sports without fans, but not boxing, man. It's just not the same.
Yeah, like a spawn session.
Yeah. But yeah, man, Demetrius Andrade, I mean, he tried to pull up on Canelo, right? He tried to compliment him, but at the same time, shit on him at the same time. So I feel like he ended up looking bad, in my honest opinion, because for one, he looks desperate. For two, like Canelo said, you really ain't fought no fucking body. But in three, I really don't like when fighters say that. But if it's the truth, it's the fucking truth. And if anybody can say that, it's Canelo with his fucking resume. I mean, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, most definitely, man. Because right now, at this point, man, because Andre is the WBO champion at 60. Canelo's at 68. You know what I'm saying? And unless Andre gonna come up to 68 and have to and do something of significance, because I mean Canelo's a cash cow. He can pick and choose at this point. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna fight nobody he ain't got to, or that ain't gonna he don't feel like can do nothing for his legacy at this point. Now right. Andre, I'd love to see him getting there with Andre. I think it'd be a hell of a fight, and I say it's a 50-50 fight, man. Andre is a hell of a boxer, man. Back in the day, I was messing around at 52, man, in the country. 1, 2, 3. You had Andre number 1, Keith Thurman number 2, and Hadley out of Dallas was number 3. Andre, he been there, man. He was the world champion in 07 before the 08 Olympics. He came into the Olympics. He was the favorite to win and got put out in the first round. But as a pro, he been cheating himself. He got a belt early, but just wasn't fighting nobody, man. And then he had a chance to fight one of the Charlos, and both sides say the other one priced himself out, so nobody knows nothing. But and then he just stalled his career, man. And then bad promoters and stuff, and then he's a threat, you know what I'm saying? So nobody gonna fight him unless they got to. He's 6'2" southpaw, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right. I mean, the fact that this fight hasn't been made yet, because isn't he with Eddie Hearn as well? Just like Canelo? But they're in two totally different divisions. So I get exactly what you're saying. So it sounds like to me he's willing to move up to 168. But like you just said, Canelo is chasing the undisputed route. So he ain't really got time to fight him until he see Caleb Plant.
Yeah, and then like earlier, they talking about possibly after that, going up to 75 and fight B to B. What Andre need to be doing to make a name for himself is trying to unify Triple G and Charlo at 60. I don't know why they ain't fighting each other.
Now, I heard the last time I heard Charlo sent the contract to Triple G and he turned it down. Now, I'm not totally sure about Andrade, but I don't understand why they won't fight each other. Why is everybody chasing Canelo? Why?
Yeah, and I was listening to one of the other channels the other day, man. Guy was saying that these guys be saying, "Oh, Canelo won't fight black fighters," but he done fought some black fighters. You know what I'm saying? And look at Andre and Charlo. They ain't fighting each other. You know what I'm saying? They saying that, but they act like they're scared of each other. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, who are they fighting? They fight Europeans and stuff too. So
I agree. I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Let me get back to that real quick. Hold on. Go ahead, bro. Finish what you were saying.
Yeah, it's just crazy that these guys be trying to they go through all this trouble trying to discredit the man, but credit what credit is due, man. This guy he chasing legacy. He's a cash cow for a reason.
Hey, you for common sense. I see you trying to call in, bro. Just give me a few more moments and I'm gonna bring you on. Back to the chat. Will Quire said, been watching Canelo for a while. Why won't he rematch Lara? I thought he lost that fight. Yeah, I feel like he lost too. But right now he's not in a position of power, meaning Lara, to dictate a fight with Canelo again, because Canelo is on an undisputed chase at 168, and Lara is not even in that weight class right now. So there really isn't any reason for Canelo to rematch him, honestly, in my opinion. What you think?
Yeah, I agree. But I give Lara a little credit. Because what was it, the week before,
Yeah, he just
week
sent somebody
before.
to sleep.
Yeah, but in that process, he got a better 160. So right now he's a dual champion at 54 and 60 at the same time simultaneously. So I give him credit. But he at the same, with that said, he's 38 years old. He don't do nothing for Canelo. Canelo ain't gonna come down to 60, and Lara ain't gonna go up to 68. The rematch should have happened, shortly after the fight. But again, Canelo, in the almanac, it's a victory. So on to the next. He wasn't gonna fight him again. I thought Lara won the fight myself. But I mean, Canelo didn't give him the rematch, so it's definitely too late now.
Right. I think that fight then passed Lara by, definitely.
Yeah.
Shout out to Rebel Life Boxing in the chat. He says David Benavidez might give him issues, but he has no defense. That's a hell of a point, my brother. And if you haven't done so already, go make sure you sub up to my boy Rebel Life Boxing channel. He is a very informative dude. He gives you the breakdowns, the predictions, the post-fight analysis. Make sure y'all go sub to my brother on his YouTube channel, Rebel Life Boxing. But yeah, man, what you think about that? I agree, because the only thing with David Benavidez, yeah, he has great offense, but he really doesn't move his head a lot. And I think you got to have some sort of head movement to give Canelo some trouble. So it remains to be seen, in my opinion. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree, man. He tried to put a little earmuffs on, but he ain't got no head movement. He get away with it with his fast hand. But yeah, we talking about Canelo Alvarez. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah.
Wow, youth of common sense, who is never shy. Shout out to him in the chat. He says Canelo a bitch, and all these fans clowning Andre. Wow, why are you calling Canelo a bitch, bro? Wow. I mean, tell me how you really feel. Rebel Life Boxing. Thanks, good brother. I already ain't nothing to it, bro. I always appreciate the knowledge and love, bro.
Yeah, like I said, man, I think Andre's a hell of a fighter. We'll give Canelo a problem. I got it as a 50-50 fight they'll be getting them, man. I ain't gonna say Canelo can beat him just straight out. You know what I'm saying? And then that last fight Andre had, some of these guys got on there saying he was, he got exposed. I think what's his name? Blue
against Liam Williams, his last fight.
Yeah, saying he got disposed. I mean, he got caught. It happened. You know what I'm saying? But he dropped him down with a 1-2 straight down the middle. You know what I'm saying?
It's boxing. I mean, dudes act like dudes can't get dropped. We seen some of the greatest boxers to ever lace them up get dropped. We seen some of the greatest boxers have off nights. It's okay, but let's not act like that man didn't win at least 8 rounds. To me, that's a good night. To me, 8 out of 4 rounds is not bad, in my opinion.
Right, everybody can't be like Floyd Mayweather and not get hit at all. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Sometimes you're gonna get hit.
And one thing about Andre, he's very unorthodox. So I think that's going to make for a hell of a fight with Canelo. And like you said, I think it's 50-50 too. But whenever I bring that shit up to most fans, and again, let me remind the people that's just coming into the fucking video that I am a Canelo fan. But whenever I pose that question, or whenever I'm critical of Canelo, people say I'm a fucking racist or I'm a hater. No, I'm just objective. I think a fight with Charlo, Andre, Benavidez, possibly Caleb Plant, if he can take a punch, are all fucking interesting, in my opinion. I mean, Canelo to me isn't invincible, but do I think all of those guys have the tools to beat him right now? I don't know. I wouldn't say that, but I don't know. I don't know who can beat Canelo right now. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the most dangerous one will be
Andre.
Yeah.
He said Andre ain't ducking absolutely anybody. Okay. Well, we ain't saying he ducking, bro. We just saying, hey, he need to go ahead and fight Charlo or Triple G or something, make a name for himself, and then double back and try to get a fight with Canelo. That's my point. Rebel Life said, "Have a laugh." He said, "You for common sense." Also said Andre ran up on both the Charlos multiple times and ran up on Canelo.
Yeah, I remember that. When Charlo was in the hallway or whatever. Yeah, I remember that.
He said, Canelo, how you trying to discredit Andre when Andre being ducked and trying to play it the way for the camera? He a bitch. Wow. Harsh words, my brother. Harsh words. Shout out to Davy John in the chat. He said only thing with Benavidez is his lack of comment pop for drugs and missing weight. That's a good point. He has missed weight on a couple of occasions, right?
Yeah, he lost his belt one time on the scale, and he lost it when he get tested positive back in the day or whatever. If I ain't mistaken.
Wow.
Yeah,
I remember that. I remember that when he lost his belt. But you know who I think is the only boxer in the sport right now where he's not actively in the sport, bro, that can dethrone Canelo Alvarez?
Who that?
Andre Ward.
Andre Ward. Yeah, I knew
Andre
about
Ward.
that.
I am willing. I hope and pray to God that Andre Ward is willing to come back. If the fight is, well, of course, you know the fight is going to be big enough. But if Canelo is willing to take that fight, I think Andre Ward washes Canelo. In my honest opinion, I think he's the only guy that has the dog in him. He has a solid enough defense. He packs a good punch. He has the ring IQ, and he will be able to back Canelo up at times. I think that's the perfect fucking matchup. What y'all think in the chat? Let me know. Speak to that, big bro.
Ward would be too much for Canelo, man.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the only guy we can all agree that can definitely start Canelo.
I mean, it might be. It's probably others, whatever. But yeah, that name is definitely one of them. You know what I'm saying? Ward is too much. You know. Yeah. You know, the way he did. You know, bullet Kovalov around like that.
Right.
You know, when he came back from getting dropped as hard as he did in that first fight, man. And man, you know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of people that felt like he lost that first fight.
I mean, I can understand both sides, but I thought, yeah, he did enough to come back and get the victory, man. It was close, but he won.
Right.
You know. Yeah, Ward, man. Yeah, he was SOG.
Yeah, man. Hey, I love Andre Ward, man. I really hate he retired so prematurely.
Yeah, but I'm happy for him. He went out on top, though. You know, and I mean, as talented as he was, it's a shame he didn't. When a mega star or make, because he didn't know controversy. He was a family man. He just did a job, went to the crib. You know what I'm saying? And so he didn't create no real buzz like that. So he wasn't making the 8-9 figure payday like he had the talent to be doing. You know, and it's a shame.
Right. Yeah, he left a lot of fights on the table too, because wasn't he going through like a contract dispute of some sort?
He got held up in court with Dan Goosen. He used to be over with Goosen to the promoter. Man, the only way he got out of that, you know, the sad thing though, Dan Goosen passed away during the proceedings or whatever. So that's the only way he got out of that case. But it started a career for 2 years.
Wow. Let me get back to the chat. Rebel Life Boxing said, if Benavidez learned how to bob and weave, man, he'll be hard to beat, bro. If he gets some head movement with what he got in his tool shed, as far as his arsenal on offense, shit, he's a dangerous fighter, man, because ain't too many people going to outpunch him. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, he's still young. I think only like 25, 26, something like that.
He has a lot of upside. And that's another thing. I don't understand why him and Charlo won't fight. I know he wants to fight, but Charlo coming up with every other excuse not to fight this dude, and I just don't get it.
You saying how he did Jalen Love.
Who that? Oh, yeah. David, you see that? I was sold after that. Oh, my God. That was a fucking beatdown. Has Jay Young Love fought ever since?
No, I don't think so. I hope not. Man,
that boy got ghost. Mayweather promoter. Oh man!
And then that other cat that Benavidez stopped Porco Medina, the one he landed, I think that 9-punch combination. That cat knocked Jalen Love got knocked out face down with his leg shaking, man. I'm like, damn.
Oh shit! He got the hell out of here. David Dunn said Andre Ward smokes Canelo worse than Floyd. Yeah, I think I tend to agree with that.
Ward to stop him probably, man. Because
Ward is a dog. He's gonna take a dog like him to beat Canelo.
Yeah, he's a more Ward is a more highly skilled Bernard Hopkins. You know what I'm saying? You know, Hopkins. Now that's not a knock because Hopkins was man. He was a technician. He did everything.
You know how I feel about B-Hop, right?
Yeah, but he got in there and made it ugly. You know what I'm saying? Ward does that in a more subtle fashion, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He don't hit you on the hip away from the referee side. Nah, that kind of mess. But he rough you up though. He holds you, bully, you know what I'm saying? He can move that head in there a little bit. Like how he cut up what was that Mikael Kessler, I think, in that Super Six.
Yeah. I think that's why I like Andre Ward though, because he does remind me a lot of D Hop, and we all know if you follow my channel that Bernard Hopkins is my favorite fighter of all time. Just FYI.
I like the old man.
He didn't duck no smoke, man. Even though he got knocked out the ring in his last fight.
Man, I was back.
Shit still hurt to this day. Still hurt. Oh my God. All right, let's get back to this chat, big bro. He said, you for common sense said, I think Andre Ward ain't gonna come back, and he probably a little older and haven't boxed in a minute to fight Canelo. I think Andre Ward probably be training a little bit, you know, behind the scenes. Who knows?
But he ain't gonna come back. He should, man. Ward done.
Yeah, I like him calling fights too, though. I'm not opposed to him and Timothy Bradley. I think they're the best broadcast team right now, popping in boxing, in my opinion.
Yeah,
shout out to Luis Perez. I believe I'm pronouncing your last name right, Perez or whatever. He said Demetrius Boo Boo Andre beats Canelo. Wow. Okay. You for common sense said Ward is too old at this point and past his prime. Could be right.
I don't think Ward's trying to do nothing either. Because they were talking about him moving up fighting Joshua before he called it quits or whatever. But yeah, I don't think Ward gonna be doing any more fights. He ain't got no reason to. He ain't got nothing to prove.
Right. Right. Let me drop this. Let me drop the link in the chat for anybody who want to come on and rock with us, man, for a few minutes or so. Let me see. You for common sense, go ahead and call back in, man, so you can speak your piece, bro. Go ahead and click on that link. But yeah, man, it was a hell of a weekend as far as in boxing. I enjoyed the fight card last night.
Yeah, most definitely. That second last fight, man, that Japanese dude.
He was a beast, man. He wouldn't quit. He would not quit. He went out on his shield right there. That's what you call going out on your shield.
Yeah, the ref. Yeah, I understood he took too much punishment, but man, he could have also let him go. You know what I'm saying? But it's that fine line. You don't want to take a chance of getting nobody hurt.
Hey, I need everybody that's in the chat and that's watching this video to hit that like button, please. But I got a question for y'all. Can anybody know or help me find out where Tyson Fury is at? Because he was popping all that shit about Canelo and Billy Joe Saunders was gonna do this, that, and the third, and we didn't hear from Billy Joe after the fight or Tyson Fury. So I'm just trying to figure out where the fuck the gypsies at. You understand what I'm saying? Keep that same energy whenever you get your ass kicked, just like you do when you win. Where in the fuck is Tyson Fury?
Man, probably taking that shirt back to the.
Hey, he's supposed to be hiding, ducking the dodge and shit. Where is he? And then I just love how Tyson Fury, bro, how he continues to bring up Deontay Wilder's name. But he is the motherfucker that's holding up the trilogy. If you feel like this man doesn't have skill, if you feel like he isn't a threat, if you feel like you can go out there and send in the sleep experts again, then why are you trying to fight Anthony Joshua before giving this man a run for his money back?
Yeah, I understand. But yeah, but it's just to be the man, the undisputed and the lineal champion. You know what I'm saying? So I understand. You know, but I mean, Wilder got to fight him again. If Wilder don't fight Fury again, he just need to retire, man. Man, lick you on the neck like that.
With blood, he licked your blood out the neck.
Yeah, you gotta bring that back. You know, if not, just hang it up.
Because my whole train of thought with that is this: Deontay Wilder didn't even have to give Tyson Fury a shot at all, let alone after the first fight either. But you know, he just honored the contract and said, "Hey, you know, we can run it back. I'm gonna knock your ass out again." Now, of course, we know that didn't happen, but I just don't like the whole ducking and dodging shit. I get it. He's trying to become undisputed, but I just hate unfinished business. I just hate it.
Yeah, me too.
And I wouldn't be opposed to this. I wouldn't be opposed to seeing another Canelo versus Triple G fight.
Yeah, Triple G had to come up to 68 though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Because Canelo is the A side.
Yeah, because Canelo showing finna bend his wheel.
You for common sense, man. Click on that link, man. I know you want to get on the speaking piece. If not, man, we're gonna head on out. Let me know. If anybody want to come on and rock with us, click on that link. You always got a lot to say, man. You're very you're very colorful, with your fucking opinion. So I just want to know what you had to say about the fight last night. Let me know. Hit that link. But yeah, man, at this point, it looks like Caleb Plant versus Canelo may be up next. I just don't know if Caleb is, I don't know if he has enough to do it. I just don't think so. But we'll see, I guess. Shit, if you ain't gonna call in, man, I appreciate you for calling in, big bro, schooling me on to some game. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that like button on your way out, hit that notification bell. Until next time, we out. Holla.